Pick a card, your spiritual quest, what you think it is versus what it actually is. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another Pick a Card reading. Now, as per usual, we do have 3 cards for you to choose from. But I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of sagey sage and chat with you about what the reading is. Today we're going to be exploring your spiritual quest actually, and what you think it is and what it actually is according to Spirit. So your spiritual quest or your spiritual path, what you believe it is, and what Spirit is saying that your actual quest is. So that's what I have for you. Go ahead and choose. From pile number 1, you're going to be the 7 of Wands with this incredibly beautiful card. Pile number 2, you're going to be the 4 of Wands with this card. And pile number 3, you're going to be the Page of Wands with this card. Take a peek, and I'll meet you at your reading. Hi, pile number 1. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. So you chose this beautiful card, the 7 of Wands. I'm going to get a little bit of sagey sage just because we can. Hopefully not burn the tarp down. We're not trying to burn anything down. Pile number 1, if you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. If you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for stopping in. I really appreciate your time and your energy. Of course, comments and ideas are always welcome. Pile number 1, your spiritual quest. I feel like right now you're focused on abundance, and I'm getting that because of the goldfish. But I feel like the abundance, your idea of abundance is actually changing. The more you mature, and I feel like we're always maturing, growing, and evolving, or at least we should be. That's my theory. I feel like your idea of abundance and what is your possession, all those things start to change, okay? Let's get a little bit more energy here. For pile number 1, your spiritual quest. What do you think your spiritual quest is right now, please? For pile 1. Okay. So I feel like you might be a little bit torn between 2 different things, needing to make a decision. Your spiritual quest is getting unblocked. Unblocking your eyes, being able to see what is right in front of you. I feel like you're having a little bit of a hard time with that. You could have some really dark thoughts about that too. I feel like you could be somebody that's struggling perhaps with depression. That gets in the way of you taking a look at things from a higher perspective. And honestly, I feel the same way. I totally get it. I've struggled with depression my whole life. So if that is your story, don't be put off or feel bad about it. I can definitely understand, and I know for a fact that there's tons of people, obviously millions of people, that wrestle with the same thing. With that being said, I feel like you're on a quest, and the journey is actually not unlike my own. I feel like you kind of want to return to this period of comfort of like a childhood or like family, a desire to be when things were a little bit more simple, when you were loyal, when other people were loyal to you, a sense of community. So it doesn't matter if you are 15, 14, or if you are 34, 54, 64. I really don't care. I feel like the vibe is the same, even if you never had, per se, that kind of family, that personal safety. Now, it's interesting to me because this morning I was wondering what kind of a reading was I going to do for you guys. And the vision I got was about safety, about personal safety, and about having people kind of foster a sense of safety in you so that you can actually just focus on playing and growing. And I feel like that has been missing from your life. That's something that, I mean, there's a ton of clouds back here. I feel like maybe perhaps you've had to really fight, to make your voice known, to make your voice heard, and for survival. Pile number one, you could be wondering why this card is in the mix. And I'm using this card as a significator, okay? This is about the transformation, your transformation into having a higher perspective of your personal journey. And so that's the intention right here. And there's nothing wrong with seeking like comfort, seeking loyalty in a family and things like that. I was just having this discussion this morning, not this afternoon actually, with a friend and a client of mine. And, you know, we're just talking about how that's something that we've wanted. It's that closeness, that friend, that the family that's tight-knit, that, you know, is there for you, that kind of a thing. And we never felt like we had it. By the same token, I feel like I was never able to fully deliver on that either. So there's no blame, there's no finger pointing. It's just a fact that I feel like I myself was unable to kind of produce this in my life. And also, like, for my son, that stability in that avenue, just a clear and concise place where somebody can kind of grow and evolve and not be stressed and worried about other things in life. Okay, so if this is your story, then I guess that was like an energy check. Yeah, but your abundance, what you think about abundance, what you call abundance, I think that is definitely evolving. Show me more about this personal quest for pile number one. If you like this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. It'd be lovely if you could. That would help my channel to grow. Tell me a little bit more about what you think it is for pile one. Where are these cards here? Okay, yeah, it's a mastery. It's a determination to master. It's like checkmate, making the right moves. And I feel like there's been, you know, I mean, I think we can all fall into this category, at least in the US, in America, where we're basically told it's like you need to be master of your own life. This is a land of great opportunity, and it looks like this. And then you have the inevitable chess map at the bottom of the feet right here. And this person seemingly uninterested, but still in the game. It's almost like be cold, be detached, and make your moves in order for you to be on top, be the highest, be the greatest, be the bestest, and be fully in control, okay? But here's spirit kind of pouring through. And there's not a lot of attention towards spirit, I'm going to say. And I feel like at least in the US, we're not trained to really even consider spirit to be a real thing. Your spirituality kind of takes backseat, and it's a little bit of a, oh, that's how you're raised. Or at least it seems like it's not really that important to us. That's been pushed our way anyways. That's how I feel. It's not been something, and I'm not talking like friends, family, things like that. I'm definitely talking about like society overall in general, whereas other places appear to have things a little bit tighter and a little bit more focused on it. And indeed, sometimes other places have a chokehold on spirituality. But moving on. So I feel like you could be looking for the right steps, the right moves to make in order to make your abundance. Abundance meaning what's going to make you financially stable, what's going to put you on the correct path, the right trajectory, what's going to look beautiful on your resume in order for you to make that next step. And all of those things within themselves are not wrong. I'm just going to say that perhaps the sense of detachment on what we're doing here could be a little bit of a red flag, because I see spirit coming down here, and it's like, well, we would like your attention. We'd like to speak to you a little bit about something. We'd like to bring your awareness to something, and there's not a lot of paying attention to that. But the interesting part is you wouldn't be on this channel if you weren't, you know, in search of, right? You wouldn't click on a spiritual quest reading. So I feel like your conditioning has been, you know, not to really pay attention to things like that, but you are listening to the call, and the call is directly tied to your move, whatever your move is going to be. So let's get a little bit about what your spiritual quest actually is. I'd like to know a little bit more about this. And now from the angle of what is a spiritual quest for pile number one, spiritual journey according to spirit. What's this person, these people? These people's actual journey. What's spiritual quest about? What? We could just end it here. Check this beauty out. So we have the star, we have healing, we have hope. We have pulling stars from outer space, from other dimensions. This is pulling dreams towards you, the ability to fly high, the ability to heal enough so that you can actually soar and fly even further. This is the ability to look and see how everything is intricate and special in their own unique way, and how to allow yourself to be who you need to be and to be present in the moment. This is a person who believes that they're completely enough, and that's even beyond that, I feel like you're inspiring to other people. So this isn't necessarily just about let me gain all the things and look pretty in life and check all the boxes there, although those things are great. But this is somebody who is really in touch with spirit. They definitely have hope. They have hope to actually give and inspire other people in spite of what you think, perhaps, okay? With the number 1 and the number 7 right here reduced to number 8, this says, hello, as my ring falls off, about cycles. This is about, so I think because my ring actually fell off, I'm wondering if that has to do with like a commitment to cycles, a need to break a commitment to a cycle. And perhaps this is like a loyalty or something that you signed up for. For example, like you take out a huge loan and you're like, all right, I'm going to go to college for all these years and I'm going to go into this schooling and then I'm going to invest in this and all the things. And I have, you know, an investment on a home as well. And by, you know, the year, I don't know, 2030, it's going to look like this. Okay. And you have like this plan, but you haven't placed your heart into it. Does this make you soar? Does this give you joy? It's more fulfilling, kind of an obligation that's kind of preset, like a template that you're fulfilling. I almost said fulfilling. So maybe you could have fur babies, right? And I'm going to say that this here has you being unique and shining, including like your style and how you wear things, how you wear your clothing. This person right here just seems, in a lot of ways, the Emperor is like my way of the highway, very traditional and things like that. And he looks very, I don't know, I think he looks actually kind of stunning, pretty amazing right there. But I feel like she's in her element. She's like, if I want to dye my hair all crazy, I do. If I want crazy tights, I will. If I want a corset, I'll do that too. So there appears to be like no limits on this, and there's no limits on your spiritual quest is what I'm hearing. Try to kind of loosen and soften your gaze a little bit on things and start thinking a little bit more about what gives you joy, what brings you healing, what is it that you've dreamt of for a long, long time that you haven't really executed fully, simply because you feel like, well, it wouldn't even behoove me. It wouldn't give me the money I need in order to do things that I want. It's not on my, 10-year plan, 5-year plan, whatever plan. So I feel like thinking about those things is going to really help you to make a breakthrough. It's going to actually cause that transformation. That's going to allow everything to kind of fall apart in a really good way, because you're going to see the carcasses of the old way of doing things. Like this was actually given template, and I really didn't know, and I'm like determined, and I just follow that because I thought that was a thing for me. But instead now I'm starting to look at what is actually me, myself, like what can I embody and how can I bring healing to the world and enlightenment, and maybe even I heard strength to other people. Like what inspires me? Is it singing? Is it acting? Is it playing music? Is it counseling? I don't know, is it, personal training, like being a personal trainer? Anything that really makes your heart soar. And I feel like you're already good at it. You're already known for that. And I feel like because you're looking at things from a 3D level of, okay, well, this doesn't actually add up to any money. I'm, going to school to be a doctor or like a brain surgeon or, I don't know, astrophysics person, I don't know. And those things have a big dollar attached to them. But I feel like that's not going to help your soul to be happy. Not that they're wrong. So maybe you can get your fingers wet by, trying to veer a little bit and pay more attention to what makes your heart soar, and put a little bit more attention there and allow yourself that, and keep adding a little bit to see if that is going to really grow and help you. Look at the Emperor here. This is telling me, pile number 1, that yes, you can rule and you could go down this path, the spiritual quest, to be able to have everything in a 3D way, to be able to pursue the plans that you currently have, even if they're loose knit plans, even if they're not written in stone. but something that you're emulating, or you think this is the correct formula to be able to attain what I want. And yes, you can have success there. But I think there's an emotional detachment with it. Or you can follow this path, which is a path that Spirit want, where you would live a juicy life, a full life, one of healing. And this person's like disinterested, looking away, like bored, seemingly not even engaged. This person is direct eye contact. This person is locked and loaded and looking, okay? This person is incredibly present and aware. And this, you got the Emperor again. I mean, can I say more? You could have success with either path that you choose, but I feel like the biggest transformation for you is to go ahead and really embrace that which you love. And I think that you are going to be quite shocked at how the turn of events unfold for you. Last words that I'm going to throw on the floor, apparently. One moment, please. Oh, okay. So this jumped, but it did jump reversed. And this tells me that the Wheel of Fortune, this is mastering things, transmuting positive and negative polarities and energies into something that's transmutable and easily used by you. This is having a lighter energy about you, but it landed upside down. So I feel like this weighs heavily upon you, and that's part of the reason why you cannot make a decision, or you feel like you cannot make a decision. There might be other people expecting things from you, and definitely this is addressing your sense of security and your solar plexus. I would examine those closely, even journal 5 things about what it is that you love. What is it that you absolutely love if money was not involved? And what is it that makes you feel secure? What do you need to make secure in order to gain more clarity? Last card for pile number 1, please. Yep, you might for a little bit of time juggle both of them and just kind of see how things work out. I feel like you're going to be listening to the spiritual one, because here we have the colors all identified again, the reds and the oranges and the fire. And it's all about your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, because it's mixed in with the colors right there. Red and yellow make the orange, right? And then I have this right here, which appears to be like translucent white. I always think about that as being the head chakra. And this is you getting messages from Spirit. So I feel like do what makes you feel secure initially, but always keep that on the top of your mind. If you can incorporate a little bit more of your spirituality or what makes your heart sing, even if it's not quite evident how it's going to make an income for you or make a life for you currently. Sometimes we need to like dabble, mix things around, give it time in order for it to bloom and flourish. So I feel like that'll give you some confidence as well. And I think that that would be a good compromise in how to do things so that you don't feel stuck, like I have to make a decision, but I'm really feeling stuck. So let me know how these things resonate. If they do, please give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear about it. If not, then I will simply see you at the next reading. Namaste. Hi, Pile 2. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose the Page of Wands with the poppies. I'm like hearing, poppycock. Now, it's interesting, and actually, if you didn't hear pile number 1, that's perfectly fine. But I do have this card right here for all 3 piles, and it's my significator. This is what's about to be transformed, transmuting, and changing for you, according to Spirit, to help your correct spiritual quest. And I guess I should say it that way because there's nothing wrong with what we pick. It's just we don't have to want to redo or wind up unhappy at the end of it, right? So you pick the Page of Wands. And I feel like somebody around you could be like, that's nonsense. That's poppycock. You could have some doubts about your spiritual quest yourself. I feel like where you're at right now, people might be thinking, well, that's pie in the sky. I think it really saddens you. She looks like she's actually crying and trying to hold back tears. I think that it's near and dear to your heart. I think that you might love nature and think, well, I want to run like a habitat for, I don't know, maybe little bunnies, or I want to run a sanctuary for wolves, or I want to rescue llamas or camels, or all the animals that don't want a home. And it could be anything, but I feel like people around you are thinking that's not even practical. You're a pie in the sky. You're a little bit like playing with daisies all the time, but they, oh, poppycock. That's kind of like saying, like old saying, like hogwash or BS, basically. And you could have people in your family that are really not sensitive. I feel like you're an incredibly sensitive soul. And what it is that you really desire, what it is that's on your heart the most, I feel like you've been made to feel ashamed about, or you have kind of backed down, or you're quiet about it because you fear that if you do want to express like your spiritual mission, whatever it is that you feel. Yeah, honest communication. I wasn't even intending on using these cards. Here we are. I feel like if you think that if you do honest communication, if you start with honest communication, that you will be kind of, I heard the word clown. That is such an old term. You'll get clowned. People make fun of you. You will not have any backing for this. Now, that could be legit, or that could be a feeling that you have. That's based on evidence, other evidence, you know, from your life. Like you've seen several examples of this happening to other people around you, or other instances where you really share something vulnerable and people have kind of like laughed about it or stepped on it, or not treated you with the respect that you need or the seriousness that you need. Because I feel like anything, I mean, you have like silver hair here. I feel like you're an old soul and very connected. You could be like a crystal child, indigo child. So let's see, what is it that you believe your spiritual quest is at this point? Pile number 2, what do you believe your spiritual quest is? Pile number 2, please. 2 cards. Maybe 3. Okay, so I'm going to say your spiritual quest is somebody who can provide stability for friends and family, a family person, a person who holds space for other people, salt of the earth, somebody who actually provides the tangibles. You could be like thinking, well, I want to rent a home, or have, you know, be like the lady of the house, the lady of the manor, all things like that. We have justice, balance. I feel like you believe that you provide balance, or you need to provide balance for that which is around you and those people that are around you. I also feel like you are aware that you have a shadow side, or other people have a shadow side. I feel like you struggle more with other people's shadow side, honestly, than your own, even though she's the one holding the sword. I feel like you can differentiate between like what is people's correct form, or the right form, the light form, versus what comes from a place of selfishness and jealousy and greed and a desire to control and things like that. You can spot that quite easily. You're quite studious. In fact, you tend to study things around you. You study the communication style of other people. I feel like a pretty young spirit, by the way. I feel like you have a young vibe about you. If you're not young in age, I feel like people are going to guess, hello, that you are quite younger than your actual years. One moment, please. Apparently I love throwing stuff on the floor. So you also have the 7 of Pentacles. Pile number 2, I feel like in your quest, you believe that it is your mission, your drive to be able to know that if I deposit 25 cents, like the old school phone booths, right? Please deposit 25 cents. In order to be the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you're thinking you need to deposit money into things that are grounded, that have roots, that are, I heard, bonded, things that will actually grow and flourish, and that you yourself needs to nurture them. Just the same way that he's nurturing this little tree. And that you need to provide all the elements or look after these things. So there's a lot of nurturing here. You could be like a caretaker, or in the health field, or acupuncturist. Okay. Anyways, you could have an affiliation for all of those things. So now, what is it that Spirit actually is saying that your spiritual quest, your spiritual journey is? What is your actual spiritual journey, please? For pile 2. Pile 2, what is your spiritual quest? The Queen of Cups. Okay. So I don't think there's a lot of a difference here. I feel like these guys go together. I feel like you are on the correct path, actually, with the Page of Wands. This is like your desire, following your passions, your desire. But Spirit's saying, well, you're actually the Queen of Cups, and your intuition knows no bounds. And this is what's going to take you far and wide, and you're going to dream big. And also, I feel like even the first 3 lower chakras are being submerged underwater right here. And it's water that you can't really see. So even though I feel like you think that, you know, being the stable person and salt of the earth and things like that is something that's like very tangible, and you've seen it produced and you admire it and you could uphold it. It reminds me of my grandmother. Like, she had great energy like that. I feel, you know, like she lived on a farm, and she, you know, would provide food for all the workers. They would call them peons when they would come out from in the fields, and they would make all the meals. And afterwards, you know, we would like clean up and sweep up and all the things like that. But I feel like you're in touch with your desire, but you have a higher calling to get in touch with your intuition. That's going to be incredibly important, because right here, being reflected on the throat chakra, is actually that red that talks about your stability, and you're going to be able to speak your stability into existence. So I feel like your connection with your emotions are going to be something that's going to be very important. Your honest communication is going to be very important, how you really actually feel about things, not repressing and suppressing your speech and your emotions, and actually hammering away at them to really not draw attention to them or to really please other people is going to be really difficult. It's going to be a difficult journey if you continue that path in that manner. Okay, your spiritual quest, your spiritual journey, what it actually is according to your spirit team. 2 of Cups, that which gives you joy. It's like the Ace of Cups amplified. Finding your spiritual tribe, having people that think and see the way things you do. I'm like, you know how they say embryonic fluid for people, ladies that are pregnant. I'm like, it's a similar thing. It's, I don't know. My thought just left my brain. But it was a play on that anyways. It's symbiotic fluid. I'm making up my own terms here, but I feel like you get the point. I feel like it's just getting in touch with your emotion will put you in connection with people that are of the same vibe, of the same tribe, of the same awareness level, and of the same emotional composition. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're identical or even that you have the same trajectory, the same dreams. It definitely means that you understand each other, that you can collaborate, you can actually talk and discuss things. There is an incredible attraction and a draw and a magnetism to you because you share like something fundamentally that is the same or extremely similar. Let me grab this card. That also jumped. We have the 3 of Wands. So your spiritual journey can involve a period of time where you need to wait for the tides to come in, but you're being urged to keep your mind and your like eyes open. Whereas here you believe that it's like, well, if I do all these things and I just kind of like, you know, become one with Mother Earth and Gaia and all those things, which is not a bad thing, and I'm not criticizing that at all, please don't take it twisted. But keeping my eyes closed, and I can't really even see when the ship comes to port. I can't see, you know, I'm not vigilant about when that tide's going to come in, when I can put my surfboard down, when I can actually, you know, go surfing or anything like that. So Spirit's saying keep your eyes open for the tide to come in, because you will be allowed to really enjoy yourself and surf and do all the things that you want. And with this card, the Sun card actually jumped out, and it is a card of like, look at how open her chest is for information, for help, for health, for joy. And this is just like being radiant and open. But I feel like this is just shut down, and it's a little bit of that energy that you're trying to repress your feelings and your desires and trying to hammer them and conform them. And it's something that's already pre-existing or preset to you, or perhaps you come from a family lineage where it's like you have to take over the family business, and you have to, or you have to marry into something. I mean, all those are possibilities, right? And that's what's kind of doling this part out quite a bit. But the fact that it's the sun is always incredibly an optimistic card, a beautiful card to have. Now, there's Temperance here showing up. And your advice and what needs to transform is balance. You need to gain some balance of your emotions. With this champagne here, it's good to celebrate, but moderation. So I definitely feel like some of you guys can be overindulging, which I am not one to give you advice about that. I ain't want to talk about that. I've had my struggles, okay? I've liked my many, many drinks, and nobody likes a quitter, okay? So I've gone through periods of my life where it's like, well, I have one or I'll have 21. What's the difference, you know? But I'm just saying that a little bit of moderation is going to be very important in your life right now. And that simply because that's going to really sway what you can do as far as in the 3D world, your decision making, things like that. Also, we tend to like drink in order to kind of hold at bay or manipulate our genuine emotions so that we're not feeling all those feels. I personally would prefer not to feel the feels, but here we are feeling them all day long. Now, I'm going to say also that sitting on this red chair right here, you actually have a lot of security beneath you. And I feel like Spirit's saying, we support you, we see you. And this dress is like indigo. So you could be, again, like an indigo child, or this could have a lot to do with your throat chakra, speaking your truth. It's almost like black. Really dark blue. It's beautiful. But I feel like also this Queen of Cups is a psychic. This is somebody, again, who's in touch with their intuition. And going by your gut feeling, you're going to find your path a lot faster. Okay. Last card for pile number 2. What is your actual spiritual quest? Union, unity, feeling good, bonding. Excuse me. We have repose right here. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, I feel like this is even like, okay, I'm going to have to sleep on it. Even though she has beautiful makeup on it, almost looked like she's like cried right here. And you could be highly decorated, like almost like pedestaled, or you could be the baby of the family. Like, this is a baby, and the baby has to do things this way. And we adorn the baby, and we expect the baby to do this, and we provide all things for the baby, but the baby really wants to grow up and have a voice in her attire, have a voice for where her life is headed or his life is headed, and things like that, okay? The Knight of Pentacles right here, servitude. Yeah, this could be about serving a cause that you don't quite believe in. And maybe this could be saying that you are going to offer healing and hope and help for people who are in a similar situation, same situation. For example, if you are, you know, slotted to marry somebody like an arranged marriage and you don't want to do that, this would be something that you'd be able to help other people that are in similar or identical situations. With all the green back here, I see a lot of healing that you would provide, a place for people to heal and grow and feel safe and feel grounded as well. Speaking your truth, once again, is going to be very, very important. If you have been objectified, that could be another thing that you're going to be speaking about as your true spiritual quest, is that you're going to actually be speaking. And it's like, it doesn't have to necessarily be like, oh, I was exploited, objectified. It can be for sure, but it also can be like, well, all these things were expected of me, and because I'm a female, then I'm expected to do this, or because I'm the baby, I have to have these duties, and that's not what I want. And I feel like with the Four of Swords, that comes after the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is about betrayals and painful truths and realities. And this can come about because you've experienced or experiencing a painful awakening or realization that this isn't the best for you. And it is painful to move on and to change and to maybe deny what people expect of you. But it is for your highest good and for those around you as well. The Knight of Pentacles with servitude, this could be... I don't even know how to say this, but this could be, you know, other people in like the SE trafficking thing, you know, that people can't really discuss on YouTube apparently. But this can be being kind of chained, being bonded, being bound to something that you didn't want to do, being in servitude of other people. It can be that drastic, or it can be feeling like you have to carry on the family lineage in a certain way that's expected of you. So take that however it will. And I feel like these are almost like little gardenia plants, even though I'm not really entirely sure that's what it is. I feel like your offering to the world is going to be very, very fragrant, very beautiful, very distinct, okay? And nobody can offer these things but you, because you have a unique set of talents, okay? Unique set of gifts that only you can share with the world from your perspective. So, and I do feel like the world needs this. No pressure, wink, wink, right? It's really always easier to say than to do, but that is what I have for you. Pile number 2. Again, if you're liking this kind of read, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. And otherwise, I'll see you at your next reading. Until next time, namaste. Hi, Pile 3. My name is Grisel with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your reading. You got the Six of Wands, or you chose the Six of Wands, your spiritual quest. So this is the quest that you believe you are on. I feel like with the Six of Wands, this always talks about a lot of admiration. I'm hearing gobs of admiration. Some people in certain parts of the world speak like that. It wouldn't be my part of the world. I'm in the U.S., and we don't necessarily talk like that, but that's okay. I'm just saying that maybe perhaps you're feeling like your spiritual quest currently is to gain a lot of attention, a lot of approval. And that is not necessarily a bad thing. We all want attention and approval at different times in our life. Now, you might be wondering why the transformation card is in here with the transition. Now, I left it here as a significator because this is the stuff that is actually going to fall away and transition and die. It's going to basically be transformed in order for you to be able to experience your glow up and be on your correct spiritual path. So let's find out a little bit more about what this is. Your spiritual quest, what you think it is currently. What does pile number 3 think their spiritual quest is, please? Okay. I've abused these cards so bad. Temperance, to have balance, to have healing. I feel like you know that you have actually a guardian angel, somebody watching after you, watching over you, balancing things out, balancing the positive and negative polarities of your own self, of life, of things in general, but also kind of being able to take the bull by the horns, no pun intended here, but being able to be the ruler of your own world. And that feels very important at this time to you. Now, this card came out in another pile. If you want, go ahead and if you looked at a different pile and you felt led to and you weren't sure, you might want to choose that pile as well. I won't be saying which one, but anyways, right now I feel like you are a little bit in that what we've all done. Okay, we've all been there. We expect to kind of be the ruler of our own lives. We have kind of a life planned out. And it might look like this. Okay, I want to, you know, go to school, go to college, get these degrees. I want to go ahead and own these buildings and do these things and have the wife, the husband, the kids. And I want everything kind of, you know, like steady income, passive income, and an easy way of life. And if I have to, you know, maybe get involved in like pharmaceuticals or the medical field or things that are like high paying, but I'm not necessarily like emotionally, mentally, spiritually invested, that's still what I'm going to do because I'm smart enough and I can achieve it. And there's nothing wrong with those things. Just like I told the other piles, we all go through that. It's like, what are we going to do? We're kind of engineered and maneuvered to think like this. But I feel like if you notice really carefully right here, this person, even though he's got a chess piece right in his hand, he's looking away. He's a little bit uninterested. He knows he's got to make a move. And frankly, he almost doesn't care about the game. He's on the game. And it's like, well, I'm on it. I don't really care because the next move, I know I'm going to win. I know how this plays out. And I feel like there could be an element of redundancy in this. Like, for example, if you decide you want to go into nursing, but you've never had a passion for medicine or nursing or taking care of people, or, you know, that was something that you feel like you decided to do once again, because it would open up a lot of your options. And and it would be great pay, but you could be very proficient. You could be even the head nurse. You could be, I don't know what they call them, but you would be like the nurse on the floor that everybody reports to, the head nurse or whatever. And it wouldn't make a difference because you're emotionally checked out. It's kind of like, well, this is great and I've mastered this. And I do this proficiently and I provide healing for other people, but my heart's not in it. I don't feel that joy. I don't feel like, oh my goodness, I get to go to work. And oh my goodness, I really helped somebody. They were not able to go to the bathroom and I helped them. I've heard this from nurses. I have nursing friends. Or I haven't been able, to feel that joy in my profession. So I feel like this is going to leave you feeling like that if you're not there already. Okay. And I think that, also being celebrated, like, wow, you went in and you're like a chemical engineer. Oh my goodness, that's like shocking. That's amazing. And we're all going to talk about it. We're all going to be fascinated. And it's like, wow, you're an anesthesiologist and that's pretty amazing. And and that's going to pique everybody's interest around. That's going to gain a lot of attention, maybe even a lot of affection. But when it comes down to it, are they attentive to you for what you have or for who you are? Those are two very distinct things, right? I feel like we all want to be appreciated for who we most authentically are and not what we bring to the table per se. Plus, it doesn't give you that joy. It doesn't help you to elevate and to change and to grow and to feel like you're thriving. And here, to me, this is like spirit talking to you. And I feel like you can kind of hear a faint voice, a faint calling, but you don't really know how to make things work in a way that is practical or feasible right now. Or perhaps it's something that is completely off of your radar. You're like, well, I don't even know how this would even match into, my life currently. Like coming from a medical field like that, and all of a sudden you want to be like, not all of a sudden, but you decide, okay, well, my real calling, my heart lies in being a yoga instructor, but I can do that on weekends or days that I'm not working, one day a week or something, but this is my steady Eddie, this is my income. So it could be something like that, but let's find out a little bit more about what you think it is. Pile number 3, if you're liking this kind of read, do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Ooh, and I bent my cards again. Yeah. So pile number 3, you could be feeling a little bit defensive, a little bit in a bubble, a little bit like, look, this is even talking about your, I think, yeah, that's supposed to be solar plexus. And that's about what makes you get out of bed in the morning, what makes you shine, what makes you excited, what makes you like, I get to do this and I can't wait, and all the things that are like exciting and basically your mission, your desire. And you're protective towards that. And even here, this is actually talked about meditating or meditating yoga and things like that. That could still have something to do with it. But you are like kind of, I feel like it's a snow globe. It's like you're defending yourself and you're quiet about it. You're not really stating that this is a path that you want to be on, trajectory, because you feel like people will come for you. Okay. So that's what I have as far as what you think it is. But let's find out a little bit more about what it actually is. So, pile number 3, your spiritual quest. What do we have for V, please? Your spiritual quest. Very earthy ambition. Look at that. Bringing down to earthy ambition. I have the heart, and the heart made of, presumably it's the stars, right? Then I have right here Saturn, Daddy Saturn, with the ambition, with the discipline, with the, it takes XYZ to be able to make a whole alphabet. Well, you get the point anyways. But I almost feel like she's got a skirt. It's almost like she's not leaning up against the bushes or something. She's got a skirt made of leaves and things like that. So very earthy energy. This is friends, family, children, animals come to me for advice, for comfort, for guidance. Like you would be the salt of the earth. Okay, 8 of Wands, communication. This communication on what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel, even with this pink, I always think of love, like pink, I think of love, and this is like a loose, almost like a heart, the things that you love. And she's got a little like baking good right here. So perhaps this can involve like something, this is saying that it's a delicacy for you. Whatever it is that you love is a delicacy, or you don't see it being like mainstream or accepted by friends and family or things like that, or making money so that you don't want to invest in it. But your spiritual quest is something that you already have looked at. You've had it in the palm of your hand. You've like really kind of gelled with it a little bit. And what we're missing is your intuition connecting that this can be actually a thing for you, that you can head this way. It can have to do with communication. It can have to do with travel. It can have to do with sending and receiving messages with technology. Strength card, we have the Fortitude card right here. And the Fortitude card, strength, is always about winning a battle against yourself, against your primal urges. This is about, okay, well, I know I'm feeling this way, but I have to, you know, do this. It's laid out for me. I've laid a structure, and every day I do the same thing and I get the results I need. And that's how I conquer. So you've conquered the lion, the tiger within, the beast within, with maybe a lot of different practices. You could be into different, like Hinduism, or different practices, or mudras and things like that. You could have an interest in meditation. I heard medication, or I don't know, the gods with all the arms and things like that. If you know it, drop it in the comments below. I'd be interested. Yeah, even eye yoga and things like that. But I feel like your third eye being referenced by the bindis right here, really quite beautiful. So you could have a lot of, I don't know, maybe you could like dance or like Bollywood films, things like that. But look, she's surrounded by all that yellow, beautiful chakra color, referencing the solar plexus, the same thing that we are protecting right here. And then the Hierophant. So this can talk about a commitment in morals and having a connection with higher order, higher morals, higher standards, basically a commitment to spirit. This can even be saying that some of you guys, not all of you, don't be spooked, don't be freaked out. You could be interested in being like a death doula. You could be somebody who wants to play music for those that are going to cross over, or make their crossing over a lot easier, whether this is pets or people. You could be somebody who gets your messages directly from spirit and connect it to your ancestors and to the other side. You could be somebody who likes to play instruments, or really comfort people, or sing. Sing song. You could like poetry and things like that. So that could be something. And a lot of this stuff is divinely guided, by the way. So your spiritual quest is something that is going to feel a little bit decadent to you. You know, like baking goods and then gifting them, or something like that, where people are on diets and you're like, it's just one good, you know, but it could feel that much out of sorts. So I feel like that is changing, like what you think and how people view you, like your desire for that attention or that approval. I feel like that's going to change. I think it's going to change for the better. I think that you are going to be recognized and applauded, and people are standing up for you, not only for all the things that you're skilled in, that you trained yourself in, that you're currently doing, but also the level of strength, the level of discipline that it takes to be you, excuse me, to be able to proceed on whatever endeavor that you're doing. I had a teacher actually once upon a time, I think she married somebody that was Hindu. And her name is Miss Chudupali. I don't know if she's still around. This was in California, yeah, when I was a teenager. And she came in full gear and danced for us. And it was like really odd because, you know, we're Americans. And I'm going to say we were kids and we did not treat her with the respect we should have. But it was incredibly beautiful. I never forgot her performance and the way she mastered that and the way she owned it. It made a really big impression, even though a lot of kids were really quite immature about it. So I feel like you're going to master a lot of that, and all of that is going to be making big changes for you. And with the transformation right here, that is what is going to actually kind of boost you into front and center, okay? Wanting the approval, but you're going to get it in a whole different way. With number 9 is stamina, okay? So this person is upholding like that veil that is said to take the imprint of Jesus and being the sacrificial lamb. But the question would be here, like what What do you feel like you're sacrificing? Because I feel like you're bringing that into the forefront. And whether it's like you want to be a nun, you want to be religious, which that could also, the Hierophant, have a lot to do with that. That could be a thing as well. So whatever your thing is, and only you know what it's going to be, because meditation and being like close to spirit is a big thing. But I feel like the Queen of Wands, yeah, your determination is going to be lock and loaded, and you are actually going to be able to successfully do that. You're going to see the fruits of it, and that's going to make you feel really, really stable with all this indigo right here. I feel like you're going to be able to speak your truth. And also, I feel like a lot of hearing. I feel like people actually tell you things, confess things to you. So there could be like a mentor or a nun type vibe or a priest type thing, or like a spiritual guru, I guess is what I was trying to figure out. Okay. So that is what I have for you. This is going to transform a lot of different things in your life. And people are going to be coming back from the past going, hey, pile 3, remember me? Remember when? They're coming in for advice. They're coming in for guidance. They're coming in for comfort. They're coming in for love, because I feel like you have an incredibly loving heart. They're coming in for applause. I feel like they're going to actually applaud you as well. If it's people that you would go like against the grain currently, because once you switch gears, you feel like it would cause friction or kind of break your connection or something like that. I feel like they will come around, you know, later on in life and really kind of pedestal you. I know that that's not, you know, especially if we're talking like trying to be a spiritual guru and things like that. We're not looking for people that are like, oh, you're so good and you're like, you teach me so much. It's just, we're looking for souls that actually really quite understand and get it and have a pure connection with spirit and really want to walk the same path. Look, you cannot make this up. Pile number 3. If this is you, please drop me a comment. I would love to know more people like you, because I feel that. I feel like that's where you get your joy. That's where you get your direction. And look at all these stairs. It looks like a tree trunk. And if you can see, I don't know how well it translates, but it almost looks like the tree right here, like the tree of life or something like that. And this gives you a lot of joy, okay? A lot of joy. The Hierophant also comes with a lot of changes. So I'm seeing here, I think that's a 5. Yeah, that's being shown as a 5. So it could be something that like you're almost like stepping back in time, and you could actually move to a whole different location and somewhere where you actually feel like you have peace. And you have, if you've ever seen Mad Men, if you have not seen Mad Men, I highly recommend it, but it is a long go. So if you've ever seen Mad Men, it's a very end where he finds his kind of utopia and his peace. Sorry to ruin it for you. I should have said spoiler alert, but alert. So that's what I have for you. Anyways, I feel like, yeah, bliss. You are finding bliss. And it's so incredibly beautiful. And the fact that you are at peace within yourself and you're getting even your own downloads, your own codes and things like that from spirit, I think that's going to really serve to awaken and draw a lot of people to you. And therefore, in the end, you get what you want, which is like attention or support or recognition. You will feel seen. Pile number 3. If you want to feel seen, I do too. And I'm just going to say you will definitely feel seen. Much, much luck on your journey. Much love to you. Until next time, namaste.